Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about how to speedrun Walrus Run. Alright, so first thing you want to do before you do anything else is turn on speedrun mode. Now this isn't required, but it is a very convenient feature. What this does is that it locks all of these settings to their default values, just in case you have one set to non-default accidentally. So let's just say, for example, walk speed. You accidentally have this up by 1 unit, and then you start speedrunning. Well, now, you know, that's a cheated run. It's invalid, you know, and nobody likes that. All because you accidentally left the setting on. That's no fun. So to fix that, you could press the default button, or you could just turn on speedrun mode if you want to keep some of your settings here. But this, these are the intended settings for playing the game normally, so we're going to lock these to the default for speedrunning. So I highly recommend turning this mode on just for the sake of consistency. And then there's also the speedrun timer. This one is totally optional. If you are a beginner speedrunner and you don't have your own timer set up already, you can absolutely use this one, no problem. But if you're a professional, you've been speedrunning for some time, you probably have your own timer already. So using this speedrun timer is not required, but it is there if you want it. And then the rest of these are pretty much optional. Okay? And next with the controls, there's nothing really that's, you know, part of the rules or anything. You kind of just customize the control scheme to whatever you want. I will say I wouldn't recommend speedrunning with bongos just because of how inconsistent they are, especially with the microphone. You absolutely can if you want to, but using a keyboard or a gamepad is definitely the way to go. And, you know, if you don't want to use the goofy preset, you can also just use modern, get the regular platformer controls that way. Again, whatever you want, and I suppose whatever is going to be more optimal in the end. No real requirements or rules about the controls here. Just recommended that you don't use bongos. And then as far as the frame rate goes, to my knowledge, there isn't anything in the game that's tied to the frame rate. Everything seems to be consistent at all frame rates. But a lot of speedruns like to lock the FPS at 60 anyway, just so everyone can participate and everyone has equal footing. You want to lock it to 60, you absolutely can. What I'm saying is, to my knowledge, there aren't any frame rate dependent tricks in this game, so any frame rate should be fine, but, you know, locking at 60, definitely not a bad idea. Now, in regards to what this even is, there are two campaigns to this game. There's New Game and New Game Plus. So when you start the game, you won't see this. You'll just see Load Game, New Game, and Back. New Game is basically the main story mode. It's going to have 15 levels and 5 different biomes. And this is basically going to be probably the main category most people will play. We could call this just Walrus Run any %, I suppose, or New Game any %, whatever you want. And then there's also 100%, which I'll explain later. But yeah, no matter what run you do, you'll probably start from the arcade menu and then just select New Game. And then New Game Plus is unlocked when you achieve an A rank or higher in every level. You will unlock these 3 levels. These are the 3 secret levels. Once these levels are completed, you will unlock New Game Plus. And it's the exact same as the New Game, but the 3 secret levels are part of the run as well. After you complete the final boss, the seal, you will play the 3 secret levels as well. So this run will be slightly longer, but it is a bit different since you got 3 extra levels at the end. So those are going to be the main categories, New Game and New Game Plus. And here's a quick technique that I forgot to explain entirely, but it's a very useful technique for damage boosting. I call it knockback canceling, but you can also call it dash canceling, I guess. It's literally you take damage and immediately dash afterwards so you don't get stuck in a knockback animation. So here's what it normally looks like. You're knocked back a little bit, right? But during all of that, you are completely actionable. So if I just, run into this guy, boom. I was launched into the air, but I delayed my cancel, and I delayed my dash, and I got a boost off of it. This also has the opposite effect, where if I run into him, I can also dash while I'm still on the ground. So you can literally damage boost right through enemy, walk right through them if you time your dash just right. Which I did not there. Like that. Or you can use it to get an extra boost an extra jump, basically, is what it is. At any time. Like, right away, or you can delay it whenever you want, but that is essentially what knockback canceling is. It is just a better form of dash, what do you call it? Damage boosting, because, bam, I just jumped without actually jumping, and if I run into an enemy, well, guess what? Well, if you time it right, you can literally just dash right through them and still remain grounded. I can do it one more time, come on. There you go, like that. Alright, that is what knockback canceling is. You can give this a better name if you want, and let me know what else you can come up with this. Maybe, I don't know, you'll find out how to get a secret double jump or something. But yeah, that is what knockback canceling is. So with that, let's just hop into a new game, and I'll talk about basic strategies for each level. So this level is the first level. This is just an introductory level, nothing really crazy here, like, at all. No real tech to my knowledge. Hit stop is enabled in this run, so it's technically faster to avoid enemies and walls wherever possible, which is part of any percent. If you go over 100%, you'll obviously want to collect all the fish and defeat all the enemies. So, you know, what I'm doing here is basically 80% where I'm avoiding enemies, because hit stop lasts for 0.1 seconds. And right here, you could probably actually take this jump pad and avoid these three things right here, so you don't have to break them. That might be a good time save right there. And then up here, take the jump pad here, because right below here is a breakable wall. So if you just go above the breakable wall, that'll save a little bit of time. And I guess dodge enemies here if you can. And then that's basically the first level right there. I'll quickly explain what 100% would entail. So this right here is a results screen you get on any percent, because your rank doesn't matter, obviously. If you're going for 100%, you want to get a triple S rank, so that's an S in the score, S in the time, and S in the overall rank. And you want to collect all fish, get all enemies, and take no damage. You do all three of these things and move quickly, you'll probably get an S rank. And the par system is where you score 20% over the par to get an S rank. So right here I'm under the par, so I got a C, and this time is pretty good, but I need to go a little bit quicker, maybe around 55 seconds. I think I get an S rank here, and so you get 2 S ranks here, you'll get an S rank in the center as well. That's how you get 100% in each level, basically. And I don't know if you want to include the paintings or not. I'll leave that up to you. Want to get the paintings, but but yeah, that right there was just an 80% playthrough of that one level. And I'll move on to the next level. So this level has an ice gimmick, let's just say, where if you can't break, and it's very hard, it's a little harder to turn around because you're on slippery ice. I don't think this ice has any movement tech, not to my knowledge. So I guess you could play around with this, see if you can find anything, but to be honest, if there is no movement tech in this level, it's pretty much the exact same as the first level, a very straightforward run to the end here. Next up is the shark boss, which is probably the most consistent level in the entire game, because the shark has a very easy pattern. So he's going to either attack one of the side platforms first, and when he does, he will attack the opposite platform. And then, on his third attack here, he will jump on top of the first platform he destroyed, so he'll spawn right here, and then you attack him 9 times. Like this. If you time your bites perfectly, you can actually get him in 2 cycles. Like, this boss is very easy. And then, yep, this is his second variation of the attack. It will attack the center platform, and then a 50-50 chance of which platform he'll get next. So he's going to attack this one. This means he's going to spawn on the right platform again, and then you can hit him 9 times again, and kill him very quickly. Something like this. There you go. Like, this is definitely the easiest part of the entire run, this particular level. I think speedrunners are going to really like this one just because of how easy it is. Very consistent, too. And, yeah, around 45 seconds or so is probably going to be the time most runners will get, just because the consistency of this boss is going to be around this time. So, yeah, not much to say about this level, though. It's very easy. Next up is the first forest level, 10,000 coconuts. This level's actually even more simpler than the first 2. However, there's a new enemy right here, the monkey. This guy rolls around. Okay, this guy's waiting a few seconds, but yeah, he's rolling around like this. Very simple. And the patterns should be consistent here, because everything's based on a timer, so like when the level opens, after 2 seconds the monkey will... I'm just giving an example, but basically whatever values the monkeys are set to, they will consistently roll at the same time. So like, start the level, play through it, and then recognize the pattern. It should be the same every single time. And then there's no extra level gimmick. Like, the rocks don't do anything. They're just simple platforms, so there's very little to say about this level at all. It's an extremely simple level. A lot of new players are stuck on this jump right here. What you have to do is land on this rock and then jump on this rock. It's, well, if you're an experienced player, it's very easy, but a first-time player, I've seen plenty of first-time players struggle with that rock in particular. Just beautiful. This is a pretty cool level because this has a cool mechanic. The mud, it slows you down and you can't dash. What you want to do is jump out of it. And when you jump out of it, you can immediately dash. But there's another trick to it, in that once you land on the mud, it instantly refreshes your dash. So dash normally has a 1 second cooldown. That was how long I had to wait before another dash, but check this out. There you go. Instantly refills your dash when you touch it, so it definitely does have some use if you get stuck in it. And if you do get stuck in it, it's very easy to get out. If you just jump and then you dash. It takes a bit of time on the default control scheme on keyboard, but you know, if you map dash to shift or something, it'd probably be even faster than what I'm doing it now. But other than that, the mud is the main gimmick of this level. Just literally, if you touch the mud, which you inevitably will, just jump and dash, and it's like, it's barely like, you know, you barely waste any time touching the mud because you can recover so quickly. Even quicker if you have a designated jump button in your control scheme. Other than the mud, yeah, another relatively simple level. I guess that's a pattern you'll see in this game, since the game design itself is very simple. The upward route here has the paintings, so you don't really need to go that way unless you are collecting the paintings. It's also not possible to jump up here. Maybe if you damage boost, but I don't know if you can damage boost off that monkey or not, but it is not intended that you go up on that tree that way, but who knows, I'm sure someone will find a way. Then right here is a very long stretch of mud. Like, even if you jump here, you will get caught in the mud right here. So just jump and dash about it a few times there, and that's the level. Stage complete! Next up is the bear boss. He has 2 attacks. He either runs like he did right there, or he walks. Walking is definitely preferred because you could be on his butt easier and damage him. And yeah, this boss is going to be a bit tricky for no damage because you have to be right on top of him to hit him, and he's also a moving target, so he's very tricky. Like, practicing this run just to practice your movement around the bear is definitely going to be important. And I should also explain the honey mechanic. It works exactly like the mud, but you cannot jump out of it, meaning, unlike the mud, there's no reason to get stuck in it at all, and you actually do want to avoid it. And also, when he throws the honey, that's a hitbox right there. And he also throws the honey in the same 3 spots as well. But yeah, he has 3 basic attacks, the walk, run, and then the honey jump, and after you break his armor. You damage him 7 times, his armor's broken, and then he's launched to the other side of the screen. After that sequence, he will always, you know, jump across the screen and throw honey, like, every time. And then after that, he will either walk or run. If he's, like, under half health, he'll probably run more than he does walk. And also, he'll probably walk less as his health's lower. But yeah, practicing your movement around this boss is actually pretty important. The honey does have one use, in that it instantly stops you right in front of the bear. So you can technically do this. And you usually should be safe every time, so there is a use for that honey. Right, I'm going to replay this level because there might be some things I missed. Like I said, the honey is literally useless unless you can get in front of him and damage him. But yeah, the key is staying on him at all times, and avoiding damage is probably going to be very hard in this fight. You'll definitely want to practice this fight a ton. And then, yeah, his health is kind of split up into thirds, I guess. The first third, he'll only throw honey to the other side of the screen, and then he'll throw it on the, like, one side and then the middle, like that, yeah. And then, at, basically the last third of health, he'll throw, 3 pots of honey in the same spot. And yeah, right here, stopping in front of the honey is actually a very useful tech, because the honey doesn't damage you. Well, once it's on the ground anyway, so you can do this, and get a few 3 hits in. So that'll definitely be a useful technique. And yeah, just be careful not to take any damage. Yeah, overall, the boss is simple in concept, but practicing this boss might actually be a tad bit difficult, especially if you're trying to do it perfectly. And there's a bit of RNG in there, because, you know, the RNG is what attack he'll do next, so just be on the lookout for that and react accordingly. That maneuver was pretty good on my part, just like you try to replicate something like that. The first desert level, kind of like the first forest level, doesn't have a mechanic involved, so it's another very simple level. No mechanics, no mud or quicksand or anything like that. It's just a simple platforming level with no death pits either, so just practice the route if you want, but otherwise, another very simple, straightforward level. And a fun fact, this section right here, I think, is the only part in the game where you're required to move to the left to progress. Well, other than space level 1, I think. But yeah, this is one of the few times where you actually have to press left to complete the level. So, write that down if you're interested in doing a challenge run where you probably move right or something like that. This is one of the best looking levels in my opinion. The graphics are awesome, but we're talking about strategy today, not graphics, and there isn't much to say. There are a lot of death pits in this level since you're jumping from across rooftops. If you fall down, you'll hit a cactus, and that little boost there doesn't really do anything, so don't think you'll get any tech off of that, because you'll, like, when you touch the cactus, control is removed from the player for like 1 second until you respawn, so it's like, yeah, I don't think you're gonna get any fancy tech off of a cactus damage boost. It doesn't really work like that. I could explain, actually. Right here is a painting location. You could potentially go this way if you want to avoid those extra jumps at enemies. This actually might be quicker.
Did you know that anyone can complete this game? Seriously,
And
there
then
are
it's
no
the
game
exact same
overs.
as before, just try to avoid enemies so you don't get caught in hit stop. And then, yeah, some more careful jumps towards the end, but otherwise a relatively simple level once again. Alright, next up is the boss, the cat boss. This boss is tricky because of the fish projectiles, so to avoid these, you want to dash right before they are being shot at you. And, like, basically, they're spinning, they're charging their attack, I suppose, and then afterwards they're launched towards you. Just dash, like, right before they fire at you, and you should be able to dodge them every single time. And until I got hit right there. This is definitely a boss you want to practice, just to practice the pattern and the movement and whatnot. Also, the center is a death pit, so don't fall in the pit. And yeah, obviously you damage the boss by hitting him in the center. And then when he has his shield up, take down the generators here, which do not put you in hit stop, so you can take care of these, no problem. And as you can see now, that he's at half health, they are shooting 3 projectiles at a time, so using your dash at like just the right time to avoid all 3 is important, and I'm actually kind of messing it up right here. Let me just try to prove that it's possible. It is possible, right? Okay, oh. There you go. This is gonna be a very tricky boss, I can already tell. Yup, there you go. You want to save your dash for just the right moment. Okay.
How could this happen?
This boss might be pretty sick to watch at top level, but otherwise this is a very difficult boss, and this is definitely one of them that you should practice just because those fish projectiles are very tricky. Very tricky. Alright, now we're getting to the good stuff. This is the start of the cave levels, and the gimmick in this level is moving platforms. So, you want to look out for the horizontal moving platforms, because those give you a little boost. So can the vertical ones, they can increase your jump a little bit, but the horizontal moving platforms can actually give you a big boost once they're moving forward. Like, this is a tiny one, but if you can tell, I got a very slight speed boost. And then same with the vertical as well. Like, I actually get a pretty decent increase to my jump height. Not very useful for getting to the finish line, but you never know. And see, that right there was also a pretty good speed boost. So, finding the right opportunities to get the speed boost off the moving platforms is going to be very important. And it's also very cycle dependent, because these things are also on a timer, on their own timer. Usually 2 seconds, but it's independent of each object here. So definitely think through the level, see what cycles you can get on these moving platforms to get like the fastest route, basically. But yeah, these levels, with any level with moving platforms, is going to be a very fun level to optimize and watch. Because you'll be moving the fastest in these levels for sure. It's technically a glitch, I suppose, because it's carrying over your movement. But even if it is a glitch, I left it in because it's just cool as hell. And this game needs speedrun tech anyway, so... Yeah, right here, should get another boost. I messed up the jump. Oh, yeah. You can get boosts in your jump like that, and on the horizontal platforms, you can get some extra speed. That's a jump pad. Yep. Oh! Yeah, right here, you just want to move decently fast so you can actually get a good speed boost when they're moving in the right direction, of course. This last platform's a bit tricky. You want to wait till it comes under you, and then jump. And there you go, you can probably get a boost like that. So yeah, that was just a very basic example. A more optimized run of this level could look a lot cooler, but it's got potential.
Just beautiful.
Next level has the exact same mechanic, but with lava. And this level's been featured in plenty of trailers. But if you touch the lava, you get a little boost, a damage boost, I should say, like this. And each lava plane does have a different knockback value depending on where it is in the level. So that one I got boosted pretty high, but because the platforms are closer, I'll get a pretty small boost. So it really depends on like where you want the damage boost from the lava and what kind of bounce you'll get. There's also the falling lava here, but this will just knock you backwards, so it's not very good to get hit by that. I don't think you'll get much mileage out of that. So try to avoid that where possible. And then this is another section where you get a low boost from the lava, but you can get back on the platform, no problem. And then this level, as you already saw, does have moving platforms, and a platform that's coming up is another horizontal one. You can jump on that one and get a big boost if you time it right. This one's a little tricky because it's on a slant, and I already flipped it. Alright, hold on. So something like this. I'm going very fast, and I just got hit by an enemy. Awesome. Yeah, but there's plenty of potential in regards to these moving platforms, especially in this level. Alright, this stupid enemy here. There we go. See? I'm moving decently fast now. I got this exact skip in the launch trailer, I think. But yeah. And... Okay. Whoa! So you'll definitely want to practice these levels just so you're used to controlling the character at high speed. And you don't get hit by the lava as much as I do. And then I guess you can technically knockback cancel that, which is a technique I didn't explain yet. I'll have to add an addendum somewhere. But after you take knockback, you can dash and basically cancel all your knockback for your damage. So, and that's the end of the level. Huzzah.
Stage complete. Just beautiful.
And I suppose the next boss technically involves moving platforms, but not in the way you think. So yeah, a big claw right here, either the left or right. The gimmick is that you jump on top of the claw, and then jump, damage his eyes. And then, while the claw is moving, there is a hitbox. So you want to make sure if you jump, and then you touch the claw, you want to make sure you touch the claw after the hitbox disappears. So I'll demonstrate. When it stops moving, the hitbox is, never mind, it's not gone. A little bit after that, it is gone, though. I'll have to demonstrate it again. Like right around here. Yeah, the hitbox is gone. So you want to time your jump just right. Because if you get hit by the claw too early, I'll show you what happens. But your jump will basically be cancelled. So like, now you don't have enough height to get up there. So you want to be very careful with your movement there. Make sure you don't get clipped by the claw. But if you do what I do and just dash to the end here, line yourself up, jump, and then hit him 3 times, there you go. Like, pretty easy. However, things to get harder at the halfway point, because he does a new attack right here. He's going to launch coins at you. And these coins are half RNG, but also can be manipulated. So, 3 of the coins will spawn at the player's location. So pay attention here. 3 coins right on my position. and the other 3 are random. So you can manipulate 3 of the coins to, let's just say, go over here, and this way, when you jump, you don't get hit by a coin. And if you do, well, you can still hit the crab there. But the idea is that you don't want to get clipped while you're jumping like this. I completely missed it. You saw what happened earlier. I won't get enough height to get on top of the claw, basically. You want to look out for the falling coins, otherwise, essentially this will happen, and I keep getting it correct, but whatever. There's also another technique where you can actually damage boost off of the coin and hit the crab a few extra times. I'm probably gonna have to replay this level to see if I get it, but I'll skip ahead to when I do get it, I suppose. Ah, almost right there. If only I hit the coin, you could basically get knocked up and then hit the crab a few more times, like 3 more times, so you can get extra damage. But it's a very tricky thing to do and is RNG dependent, so it might be a little bit of a hassle to get this. And as you can see, I almost had it again. I don't think I'm gonna do it, but it is possible, as you can clearly see by the location of the coins. You just get hit by one while you're in the air attacking. You can hit them an additional 3 times and end the fight way sooner. I'm just gonna move on to the next level, but you get the idea. This is another hard run, because it's mostly RNG dependent on the coins, but you can manipulate your own coin placements as well. Right, this is the ship level. Main mechanic here is that it borrows mechanics from all the previous levels, since it's at the end of the campaign, and it also has another mechanic regarding the new enemies. So I'll explain this guy first. This is a seal shooter, and he shoots piranhas that are trapped inside fireballs, I guess. And basically, you cross a trigger over here, and when that happens, he starts firing these things from off-screen. And, yeah, so you'll be dodging these for a while, basically. And then once you walk up to him, attack him like this. But the box is still there. You can jump on top of the box if you want. But basically, you just do that. Jump over him and attack to get him. And then this guy is a chaser. He will chase you. So hit him once and he's done. And now this is the mechanic right here. You're trapped in this room, and you have to defeat all the enemies to get out. The doors will slowly open like that.
The Walrus has boarded the ship. Apprehend him at all costs!
And that's the main mechanic, really. The introduction of these 2 new enemies and the locked rooms. But since enemies die in 1 hit, it's very easy to deal with. And a very fast monkey right there. Watch out for that. And yeah, somewhere around here is or back there was the trigger for the next shooter. There you go. And then there should be, yep, another one right here. And then another chaser. There's some tech, yeah, there's actually some tech with this guy. So if you, like, bounce on top of him, he kind of moves you, he kind of bounces you forward a little bit. I'm not sure what movement tech you can get off that, since you have to be invincible first. But there is some sort of tech you can do with this enemy chaser guy. So experiment with that if you want to. Maybe turn on permanent invisibility and see what you can do. But the seal chasing guys are definitely a little jank. Ah! Whoa! Tight jumps too, yeah. Then right here is another counter. And he's a little more spread out, but just do that. Whoopsie.
Blast it, Walrus!
Yeah,
you won't escape my grasp this time. All soldiers converge, now!
And Sergeant Seal is not happy about that. Right here, this jump is a bit tricky. I usually get hit here, because the bat, I didn't explain the bat enemy, but after, the bat also has its own trigger, and after that trigger is hit, it'll start moving towards you, so be on the lookout for that bat, combined with that fireball. It is possible, you just gotta time it right, and you'll be able to dodge both the bat and the fireball. And moving platforms also return. Hello, my old friend. And, yeah, exactly like the previous level, you can just do this. And a lot of damage boosting, I guess. And I'm getting sent way back here because I didn't touch the platform. Yeah, if you touch the moving platforms, it won't reset your respawn location either, so be extra careful when you're platforming across, like, these moving platforms, because you'll get sent back pretty far. Should be able to make this jump, but if not, there you go. And this is the last encounter, shall we say.
Run and hide all you want, Walrus.
And that's
There's nowhere to go.
So this level is an actually pretty hard level, not because of the dark and light mechanic, but because the jumps are very precise towards the end of the level. And considering the limited visibility, you will definitely want to practice this level just so you get a rhythm for the jumps. Because the gaps aren't really that wide yet, but they'll get wider as we go on here. And then, yeah, it's mostly dark, but then you cross the light switch, and the lights turn on briefly, but they will slowly dim back to nothing. And then in this level, I should explain this part too. This doesn't really involve the speed run, but basically, okay, hold on. Right here, pay attention to the light bulb. It actually uses the fog right here. So if you hide the fog, you can't really see like the light source, but the light at the bottom there is still there. So technically the visibility, I guess, is reduced, but like only towards the light bulbs. So you could still see the platforms just fine with the fog on or on. I'm just letting you know that's a thing that is there. But again, in regards to speedrunning, that really shouldn't have a effect unless you have a bad graphics card or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's just less visibility if you have the fog turned off, but I mean, if you're a good speedrunner, you might not do that. So, I completely messed up that jump, by the way. That's another seal chaser. And then, yeah, that was a decently tight jump, too. You're just going to keep getting tighter. I have no doubt I'll probably miss some jumps towards the end of the level, because that's how tight they are. But, I mean, you have infinite health, so why not make the final level hard? And this is the final level in the new game route, by the way, before the boss.
How many times do I have to teach this lesson to you, Walrus?
This is also a very long level, too. It's around 3 minutes, I think, of just raw movement right here. There aren't any moving platforms either, so you're going at your regular pace for this level. And yeah, I think this is the part where the jumps start to get a lot tighter. There aren't many enemies here, it is just raw platforming. So, you know, if you're playing on bongos, this is going to be much harder, so good luck. Let's see if I can get this first try. Okay, yeah, the black containers are the last ones. This is the last jump right here. Very tight. Oh my god, barely. Okay.
I will have to deal with you.
It's much harder than it looks, trust me. But, yeah, doing that optimally is something you'll absolutely want to practice because those jumps are so...
Stage complete.
And yeah, my time was around 3 minutes. Or actually, 2:50. Even then, that wasn't perfect. So maybe you could shoot for 2 minutes, 30 seconds for a perfect one. I'm not sure. Then these are cutscenes. And then just the boss. This boss is actually very easy. He has 7 attacks total. And those are 2 of them right there. And, basically, those attacks have left and right variants. So there was the stinger, the overhead, and the combo. They each have left and right variants, and some attacks are quicker than others. So, you know, the best RNG will probably be 2 stingers in a row, but that right there, stinger overhead, was very good. And then there's a 7th attack called the skewer, and this attack takes the most time. So, you know, hopefully if you get good RNG, you won't get that attack, but he only does 1 attack per cycle. 1 of those attacks per cycle. So as you saw there, he did 2 attacks and then threw his sword. He does 2 of the 7 attacks that I mentioned, and he'll only do the skewer attack once if he does get the skewer. Otherwise, he'll do 1 stinger, 1 overhead, for example, and then he'll throw his sword. Now, when he throws his sword, you want to catch it immediately and just hit him. He'll teleport to a random spot on the map and then float to the center. So you can pretty much just hug the center of the map. Just jump and hit him 3 times, and that's it. And you basically repeat that 3 times total.
There is no way.
And right here, he's gonna float for a little bit and then start the attack randomly, or you can attack him manually to immediately begin. So I'll restart just to show you. Right when you start, attack him just to get things going immediately. Then right there, I got good RNG. Grab the sword and hit him 3 times. That was not good. Like that, and then bam, like that. And then he's going to take the sword from you. That's not an attack or anything. And then attack him. Yeah, he's going to do overhead. And then the skewer. Yeah, this is not very good because this takes a while. And then, yeah, dodge those grounded fireballs, obviously. And then attack him 3 times. Essentially, once you know the pattern, the boss is very easy. But, of course, it's going to come down to what RNG you get, if you'll get a good time on this boss or not.
There is no way
you
can
defeat
me.
So that's a hitbox across the entire stage. You want to load that. And right here, yup, hit him 3 more times, and that's the phase. If skip cutscenes are on, you'll automatically go to the next phase. If not, you can just manually skip. And this is the final boss here, the Seal of Doom. His hurt box is the entire center of the stage, so just hug the center and you'll get him. He's got some random attacks here. I'll have to take some time to explain them. So, every few seconds, the lightning bolt attack will happen, and this is like a constant. Like every few seconds, that will happen. Lightning bolt will spawn your location, and then this whole lightning bolt is a hitbox. So look out for that. As for the Seal's attacks himself, he has the swipe attacks. These fist attacks here will just spawn more of these fireballs. So just watch out for that. There's a swipe attack right there. You want to time your jump just right, you'll get hit. That's the overhead laser. You want to time your jumps on the fireballs just right so you don't get hit by that laser. That was another swipe attack that was a bit faster. Yeah, to dodge that attack, you really just stay on the ground. And also right here, hitbox in the center of his fist, so make sure you avoid that. Yeah. There's a tad bit of RNG to the fight, but I mean, it's not... The RNG is just what attacks he'll do. His hurt box is always present, so it's not the biggest deal. You'll basically just have to react to the fireballs and time your jumps accordingly. It's the main challenge of the fight, but otherwise the fight is pretty straightforward. And yeah, once you defeat this boss, you can in-game timer will stop. You can also stop your timer there, and then that's the end of the run. End of the run for the regular new game 80% anyway. And then right there, you'll see your stats for that run, your score, your time, and your rank points, which I didn't explain yet. The rank points are what the points you get at the end of each level. So you get an S rank, you get 4 points, and that's added up to your total. So if you want an S rank in an arcade run, you have to get all rank points, and that's an S rank on every level. Which is hard to do, yeah, but you know, it's part of the challenge. But of course, I guess you only need that for 100%. For any percent, you can get a D rank like I did, and be just fine. But yeah. And then I'm gonna re-record the Seal fight because I skimmed over a lot of things because there's a lot to talk about, and then I'll go over the 3 secret levels real quick. But I'll replay this level. So he's gonna float around for a bit. If I don't do anything, he'll start attacking anyway. But attacking him manually will trigger the attack faster. So you'll basically want to attack him. That's the combo attack. Stinger. Grab the sword and then hit him like 3 times. Yeah, I'm not going fast at all right now, but you get the idea. This is very simple in concept.
Give me that. You're a criminal.
Overhead, just stay still.
You should be locked up.
2 overheads is very good RNG. That might be a tad faster than the Stinger. I'm not sure. But that's the best possible RNG, essentially. That right there.
Enough!
And yeah. Look out for the combo, because, well, if you run into him too early, then you'll get hit, because he has a pretty big hitbox. So this attack right here, yeah, he'll either move left or right, so just stay between the lasers, dodge the lightning bolt like that, and that's pretty much how you do that. And then he's gonna fist again in the center like that. And yeah, as you see, like, that hitbox, the center hitbox in his fist lasts for a very long time, so be careful of that. Then there's also hitboxes on his fists right there and in the center. Yeah, you want to just stay on him the entire time, but watch out for the lightning bolts. That will force you to change position slightly. And watch out for, you know, his other attacks as well. But yeah, the RNG is only really gonna affect what attacks he'll do. Since his hurt box is always present, the RNG really doesn't matter that much on this fight, except for right here, I suppose. But even then, you can stay right here and just hit him anyway if you want to take some damage there. So yeah, getting this guy should have decently consistent times on him in terms of how long it takes to beat this phase, but who knows. And then that lightning attack will spawn every 2 or 3 seconds or so on your position. The left swipe is also slightly more delayed than the right swipe. The right swipe, yep, much faster, so look out for that timing and try to mix you up there. And there you go. Alright. So, if that was New Game Plus, instead of going to the credits, you would immediately go to the next stage. So we're just going to assume that we're going to the next stage, which is the space level. Alright. So this level has a low gravity and high gravity mechanic. So right now your jumps are very floaty and jump very high for longer, stay in the air for longer, until you hit the gravity switcher. You can bite this or just run into it, and it will make the gravity much higher. That's essentially how the level works. And it's intended you follow the route of, oh, now I can jump higher because the gravity's higher or lower. But you can actually just switch this to whatever you want. So you can actually just, well, I guess not always, because maybe right here you'll need the high gravity. And I just missed it again.
How could this happen to me?
There are some parts where you're going to need the low gravity and some parts where you need the high gravity. So you can mix and match which ones you want and really make your own route. But there's obviously an intended route because some jumps you have to do with low gravity because they're too large. So be mindful of that, and then you can just craft your own routes here. So I'm looking forward to see what people can do with this level. And then right here, you know, you need to jump high to clear these jumps here, obviously. But then maybe the next part you can stick with low gravity or something, who knows. And then this right here, you want to keep going forward a bit, hit the switch, and then jump like this. That's the intended route, but maybe you could, basically, you could probably just do this, where you skip the switch on the right side there and just immediately go for this. That might be faster. And this is another very long jump, just jumping up here. Very big jump. And then this right here, yeah, high gravity will make you fall faster. So on this specific vertical section, it might actually save, it will save time if you have high gravity. And then you switch to low gravity here to clear these gaps. You go left, and then right. Yeah, yeah. And then, you know, at this point, you can see an asteroid up there. It splits into 2 paths, so you can decide which route you want to take. I mean, one route has the fish and the other doesn't, but if it's at 8%, you can go whichever route you want, I suppose. Although hitting the gravity switch does cause hit stop for 0.05 seconds, so be mindful of that as well when you do want to switch gravity. And that's the end of the level. Very simple one.
Stage complete.
This might be the hardest level in the game, not because of the tight jumps, but because of these speed pads. Big boost of speed, but you have to hold on to it. Right there, I just missed my jump barely, and I lost all my speed I just got. So you definitely want to, like, basically practice this level and get your movement down to a T, so you can hold on to your speed boost for as long as possible. That is how you get the best time. And right here, these ones move you backwards, so, like, you can avoid touching those if you can, but obviously right here, you can't really do much. You could probably damage boost off these fireballs if you time it right. But, yeah. Right here, once again, I got some fast movement. I want to hold on to it. Some walls right here, and then get ready to jump. And there you go. I'm going really fast now, and you want to hold on to this. And then some jumps coming up here. This is basically the whole level. Is that holding on to whatever speed boost you have. So it's decently difficult in terms of not wanting to get hit. And then jumping here will hold on to your current speed for longer, so you actually do want to jump there. Although maybe that'll age poorly, but I think that's the fastest route. And then you're going to jump right here. Yup. Then jump again. Yeah, and then there's going to be some sections right here where you want to avoid falling into the, well, not death pit, but still the pit, because you'll get stuck in the backwards speed pads. And another moving platform right there for all the moving platform fans. And there is another one up there, but I just fell down. Yeah, there it is right there. You can get another boost up there maybe, but this is a situation you want to avoid right here. Okay, this rock is a tight jump, kind of. And this level's also difficult because it is one of the longer levels in the game. It's like around 3 minutes. And that's assuming you don't make a mistake. It's still 3 minutes. And yeah, I thought we were approaching the end, but I think we still got a bit to go. So there's a decent amount of length to this level. So it is definitely a hard one for speedrunners to play perfectly. Especially, yeah, I forgot that was there, so you gotta memorize the building layouts as well. And then once you see the hologram walrus, that's pretty much the end of the level. Like, it's literally just a straight shot to the goal, no hazards. I don't know, maybe I made it hard, maybe I made it sound harder than it actually is, but I just, in my mind, it seems like it would be a hard level.
Just
actually
beautiful.
2 minutes 30, not 3 minutes, but whatever. Now we're gonna move on to the true final boss of the game. This intro right here isn't skippable, but if you have skip all cutscenes enabled, it'll skip this intro. But, you know, this intro isn't part of your timer in the in-game timer, so it won't affect that timer, but maybe your own speedrun timer will still, like, keep moving. So, maybe if you're doing New Game Plus, turn on skip all cutscenes just so you don't have to adjust your own personal timer. But your own character's timer isn't affected by this, like, 9-second intro or whatever. So, like, right here it starts at 0. So anyway, this boss, this is pretty much Wily Capsule for Mega Man 7, the exact same pattern with the bullets here. He'll teleport to a random location, fire 4 bullets at you, which are hard to dodge, but it is possible. Like right there, I just dodged it, but you gotta get him in a good spot, which is RNG dependent. However, no matter where he spawns, he will always spawn in the location that you can hit him. Even like up here, you can still hit him. And he could spawn below the ground too. You could still hit him there. So you can always hit him every single time he spawns. Just make sure you get there fast enough and dodge the projectiles. He also has a hurt box on him, or should I say hitbox? So like that right there. So make sure you don't directly touch him because he can damage you from contact. And yeah, this is a tricky boss, just trying to dodge all the bullets, especially since his position is RNG dependent. So this is definitely a tricky boss. Halfway through, some stars will start falling down, which are kind of easy to dodge, but it'll still, you know, it's an extra hazard to throw at you. Just watch out for that. This boss is very short, though, once you optimize it, but it is a decently difficult boss. Might be the hardest boss in the game, just in terms of not taking a hit. Any percent doesn't really matter. It might be easier, but for 100%, you want to take no damage, that's definitely the hardest boss. And that is the end of the run. And if you're on New Game Plus, after this results screen, you'll get to the credits screen, and that's that. One more thing I want to add, I'm not too familiar with how ILs work in speedruns, but if you want to practice just one individual level at a time, stage select is your best friend. You can choose one level and just replay the level and just keep going over and over, and see what time you can give for each level if you want to do that. Otherwise, that's everything that there is on Walrus Run speedrunning. That's the end of the video. By the time this video is uploaded, I believe the game should already be out, so go ahead and buy it off of Steam and itch.io. In the description, there's also a Google Drive link for the official splits for the game. I made some splits using the Live Split, so if you use Live Split for your speedrun timer, you can download those splits and, you know, use them if you want, customize them too, you know, feel free. But yeah, those are in the description if you want to get started with speedrunning. But I hope this video has been helpful. You can, of course, leave your questions in the comments if you have any questions about specific strategies. Leave it in the comments. Tag us on Twitter. You can also go to our Discord. We do have a speedrunning channel, though it is more casual focused. I don't think there's an official speedrunning Discord yet or anything. I don't think I'll be running that Discord. I think that's more community driven. But if there is one, you can join that and talk to fellow speedrunners there. But we do have a speedrunning chat in the Discord that's more generalized. But yeah, that's everything about the speedrunning, and I'm looking forward to how people could break this game in half. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope you enjoy the game.